Friends and viewers, I have in my hand the very famous drama of Johanna Wolfgang von Goethe or Goethe. The name of this drama is Faust, and this same drama is written, Dr. Faust, is by Christopher Marlowe. So let us come to the von Goethe's this part one of this Faust, and this is a play published in 1829. So let us come to this is in a two-part, so let us come. The part one begins with a series of three prologues, starting with the dedication to those Goethe used to know and followed by a prelude on the stage, in which director, clown, and poet argue over in which a director is the play should be. In the third prologue, the prologue in heaven, the Lord and Mephistopheles, the devil, speak of Faust, a restless doctor who is currently conflicted and confused. The Lord and the Mephistopheles place a bet on Faust's soul, with the Mephistopheles predicting that he can guide Faust to be like him, while the Lord said, no, he is a good, upright man and he cannot be deceived by you. So they had bet on them, while the Lord predict Faust is too good to go down to Mephistopheles' evil path. The action then officially begins in Faust's study, where he laments having devoted his career to scholarly pursuit. He feels unfulfilled and that the books cannot give him the meaning he desires. Faust decides to turn to magic to get the answer he wants about the world and summon the earth spirit of help, who rejects him and goes away. Faust, academic servant Wagner visit him, and the two men argue about knowledge, as Wagner believes in the scholarship and value of reading the Faust now detests. Faust, still feeling miserable and unfulfilled, attempts to die by drinking poison, but is interrupted by a singing chorus of angels who restore his faith in the world and change his mind. He goes on an Easter morning walk with Wagner and sees a black poodle, which he thinks would be a spirit in disguise. So the black poodle follows him home, eventually turns into a Mephistopheles, who introduces himself to Faust. Mephistopheles returns to the next day and strikes a bargain with Faust. He will lead Faust and devote himself to helping him in his journey for passion and meaning. But if Faust stagnates his quest and becomes slothful, Mephistopheles and hell will get his immortal soul. Faust tells Mephistopheles that he wants to use Mephistopheles' power to experience passion, sin, and range of emotions from greatest joys to suffering. After Mephistopheles briefly disguises himself as a Faust to speak with a student, while Faust packs, the two set off using their clocks to fly. They first go to the tavern in Orbech, where Mephistopheles uses magic to trick the man drinking there, and then to watch they who give Faust a special potion to drink and performs a ceremony. While there, Faust sees the image of woman in a mirror, and Mephistopheles promises to guess Faust a girl for himself. Faust passes a woman, Gretchen, who also referred to by her full name Margarita in the text, on the street, and offers to escort her name, and she rejects him. He is overcome by her beauty and tells Mephistopheles that he must have her. Mephistopheles says he is very innocent and religious and he cannot control her. Nevertheless, Mephistopheles takes Faust to Gretchen's room while she is out, and they deliver her a large box of jewelry. While Gretchen is delighted by the jewelry, her mother says it, gave it to the church, and Faust then brings her more jewels, which she stores at neighbor Martha's house. Mephistopheles visits Gretchen at Martha's house and tells Martha her husband is dead, as a way to get Faust and Gretchen to meet. Faust at first objects to the trickery involved with the plan, as he must bear false witness to a judge about the husband's death, but he soon relents and quickly falls in love with Gretchen. Mephistopheles, however, suggests that their love could suffer a bleak fate, and Faust worries that he's ruined her and made her a victim. Nevertheless, Faust pursued Gretchen to sleep with him and gives her a portion to get her mother to sleep so she won't disturb them, which kills her. Faust and Gretchen night together causes Gretchen's downfall as she's ashamed in town and gives birth to a son whom she drowns. Her brother Valentine comes to see her after learning of her sin, but Faust stabs him before he dies. Valentine curses Gretchen, calls her a whore, and tells her that her premarital relationship will cause her nothing but disgrace. Gretchen is ruined, filled with despair and regret, and is taunted by evil spirits who shame her. Meanwhile, Faust and Mephistopheles go off to a Walpurgis night with witches and warlocks, where they dance and see a play loosely based on the Midsummer Night Dream. When they're there, Faust sees an image of Gretchen with chains around her feet, which Mephistopheles say is just an illusion. Faust quickly learns, however, that Gretchen is imprisoned, and he is furious with Mephistopheles for not telling him sooner or not caring about Gretchen's fate. Faust makes Mephistopheles take him to Gretchen, help her escape. But when he breaks into her cell, she refuses to go with him. Faust and Mephistopheles eventually leave Gretchen alone in her cell, and she cries out for Faust. But in the final moment of a play, a voice from above announces that Gretchen is redeemed, suggestion that she's atoned for her sin and will go to heaven. Faust's journey is then continued in Faust Part 2, and he's ascended into heaven as well, guided by Gretchen's soul. So this is the story of the Faust written by Goethe. Then in the second part of the story, he started to search with the help of Mephistopheles. He started for the search of the worldly power. He went and contacted the emperor and different kings and offered them help in economic and military affairs, and those kings and emperor feel very happy while taking their help, and Faust helped them, and in the return of his help, the kings give him a huge piece of land and a fiefdom. Then also Faust uses his magical power of Mephistopheles by viewing the image of the famous Helen of Troy, the Greek woman of the wife of Menelaus, and it was Faust had suggested her to come and make a love with him, and through that love making a child was born, which also perished because Helen was a spirit and could not remain with Faust forever. In this way, Faust had spent his life, and in the appointed time, when he attained the age of 100 years, the Mephistopheles started to dig a grave for him and to prepare a funeral ceremony, because sooner the Faust is going to die, and according to the pact and agreement, the devil is going to snatch away his soul and take it to the eternal damnation. While there in this now drama, Faust was saved by the Lord in the heaven, and the angels was sent to take the take the soul of the Faust and into paradise, and while dodging the Mephistopheles and saving the Faust from internal damnation. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the story of Faust written by Goethe, the famous Faust, the immortal drama written by Goethe. and while how a man with the lust of power and knowledge sells his soul, and finally he was saved by the Lord to the heaven. Thank you very much.